What's up guys, we're back again with a brand new GRIPT video, the biggest and best alternative news platform in Ireland. For those who don't know, if you guys are watching from outside, I get a lot of foreign viewers on my channels, guys, from America. I get a lot of, Asian viewers, I get a lot of African viewers, European viewers, so I appreciate the love and support from different countries. But this one today is called Demonisation of Irish Farmers Discourages Younger People from Entering Profession. So, guys, the name is self-explanatory, right? We're gonna have here people that are really needed in society, but aren't paid their, they aren't given their flowers, so to speak, guys. They're not given love in society. Farmers, it's kind of like, a given that we're given all this farming capabilities and all these different things, guys. They're very undervalued in society, I would argue. Very, very undervalued. For people who don't know, man, like, if you didn't have farmers, you wouldn't have potatoes, you wouldn't have any of your food, meats, chicken, any of that stuff. So any of your whole foods, which are the best foods in the world for you guys. I've been bodybuilding, personal training for 10 years. Now I'm a personal trainer. I coach loads of clients, and I know that if I couldn't tell my coaching clients to go get these specific foods, they wouldn't be healthy, guys. So it is what it is, man. We're going to delve more into that, man, about how people view farmers in this country, because I know a lot of people wonder. I'm from the countryside as well, guys. I live out in the west. Like I always say, I know everyone watching this lives in Dublin, but like it's completely different here in the west, guys. A lot of people respect farmers. So let's see what GRIPT has to say, guys. A little interview here.
You might need a policeman. Once in your life, you might need a lawyer. Once in your life, you might need a doctor. But 3 times a day, every day, when you sit down to eat, you need a farmer. And that is it.
So
very well said, guys. I love the beginning to this video already.
when it comes to farming in Ireland, I think, no offense, the profile of a farmer is somebody who's kind of getting on in years. It seems like something that the younger generations haven't taken to in the same way that older generations might have in previous years. What has attracted you to farming as a profession and a vocation?
And it's very true, guys. And not to insult anyone, at the risk of insulting anyone, I know a lot of people from Dublin, D4, oh yes, absolutely. They look down on people. We look down on people. We could never work in a farm, or we could never, they're almost like British people, these super rich, aristocrats from D4. It almost seems like they just look down on people like farmers, like say that they're not professional, say they don't have college degrees, or they don't have, whatever, they're not working in IT, and that's not true, guys. That is just not true at all, man. It is literally a very tough profession, but also you need it for food, guys. My favorite thing in the world is food. I love eating, guys, obviously, right? So like, it's unbelievable the way people from these rich parts of Dublin, mainly specifically, that's what I'm gonna say, kind of look down on people from the west, right? It's true.
At times I second guess myself to wonder, did I make the right decision? For the simple reason that when you demonize a profession / vocation, when you demonize it, it's not attractive for the younger people. The younger people are being constant. The media is throwing consistent battery on farmers. It's not. It always seems to be the farmer. I love the term farmer bashing, which is unfortunately is a term now. And a young person wanting to make a positive difference, although in order to make a positive difference and change every aspect of farming, be it around the greenhouse gas emissions and water quality and all these topics that we can drive change in, a younger person is a lot more open to change in their practices than an older person. I've been attracted to it thanks to Macra. I've seen all the benefits being part of a community, but also a huge thing that we're losing in this country and across Europe is we're not standing up and being counted. And if you were to look at the age profile across Europe and Ireland, Ireland is a lot higher, but across Europe, it's I think the average age of a farmer is 51 or 2.
Jesus, 50! Like, I actually thought that it was more of a ancestral thing. Do you know, like, living in the countryside, I thought it was more like your dad did it, your granddad did it, so like you're gonna do it type of job. Do you know, that kind of way? I actually think that that's kind of fair enough, but like now he's saying it's 51, so obviously like people are not doing it that are younger. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys, but I'll say this: I think that they're just trying to get rid of farmers. No hate to the farmers. I flipping love farmers for what they give me. The red meat, the beef, especially, the chicken. But it's unfortunate because I think they're just trying to get rid of farmers, guys. I think they're just trying to get rid of a lot of things, cars, all this stuff. They don't want you to eat the healthy food. They want you to eat Oreos and all that kind of really unhealthy food, guys. They also want to bring in red meat that's like cultured, like made in a petri dish, like this sort of live, cultured food, which isn't the same. I mean, you'll spend hours and decades making, with hundreds of ingredients to make like a replicate egg, where you could just have an egg from a chicken that takes like a day to make. So it's very strange, guys, the way they're trying to create these, meats, this Beyond Meat and Beyond Burgers, which suck, guys, compared to a regular beef burger. They're terrible, right?
So, like, that's not acceptable. How do you teach farmers to change their ways in order to have a more positive impact? Like, it's a huge topical. It's very topical at the moment, but it's a huge discussion that has to be had openly across the board.
Who do you think is driving the demonization of farmers? Because of course we see billboard campaigns that paint farming in a negative light and portrays it as catastrophically bad for the environment, and we hear all of these different calls from NGOs and various different organizations. Where do you think this is coming from?
Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of it is driven by headlines. I think a lot of stuff can be taken out of context, and that drives uncertainty in the farming sphere, which actually pits farmers against each other, which isn't, united, we'd strive.
Divide and conquer, that age-old adage, right? Divide and conquer, guys, when they just pit you against each other, so then you can't make progress in any area because you're too busy fighting each other, guys. Yeah.
But divided we fall, and that's just predominantly across all sectors. You don't see any subsectors being pitted against each other as much as farmers. There's an awful lot of people now sitting back, giving out about everything. But lads and ladies, I'm sorry to tell you, if you sit back and give out, you're not going to make a change. You're only going to make yourself, a negative person, which isn't the answer either. So it's very important to be proactive, not be reactive, to ensure that you have your voice heard. And if you have something to say, say it. But like Twitter sometimes isn't the best option, or X, or whatever.
Yeah, to be honest, guys, I spend a lot of time on X just posting stuff, and sometimes it's not properly, but it does help. But at the same time, guys, you have to kind of go out and vote, do things that will actually help change the sphere. I'm not so sure these videos help change anybody. Maybe it might, get public sentiment to, understand more this issue. And that's about as good as I can hope from this video, guys. And for those who don't know as well, it's really cool. Like, I grew up in the real countryside, right? So this video, it's really funny, like, looking back on my school days, like, people used to actually leave class for like 2 or 3 days a week when the ploughing championships were on, and they would go to this, which I think this is the ploughing championship, right? I think this is the ploughing championships, right? And they would actually go and travel to this ploughing, and then they would like leave school. That's how big farming was in my school, right? That doesn't happen in Dublin and all these, suburbs. What do you even call Dublin, guys? It feels weird calling it like like these different places, like D12, D8, all these different places. Like, what do you guys call these different places? But anywhere that's like in the city, the big cities, you never really, see people going to farming or ploughing championships, right? That just wouldn't happen. But in my school, they actually used to go. We used to have like a free day off or whatever, but it was gas.
Whatever you call it, if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it behind a keyboard. And I think that alone, along with some negative headlines,
that's very true, guys. I would openly say anything that I say on this channel to anybody in real life, or debate anyone that I say on this channel, or in my Instagram in real life as well. I'm not this guy over here cowering behind the laptop. That's just lame. I put my face on the camera as well, also. So that's another thing. But even if you don't put your face on camera, people do know you. So it is very. I do like people that don't put their face out as well, because obviously they have jobs and they actually have a big life to live. I don't have that, guys. I just have this channel, so.
Along with some, farmer bashing, like the real issue, a huge thing, to tell farmers to reduce their emissions by 30%, that's understandable. But what about reducing food waste by 30%, which the current food waste level in Ireland at the moment is 30%. So that just cancels it out. So why is it me, the farmer? Maybe it's the consumer that needs to look at things. Everybody needs to work together, and that's the fundamental, if we don't work together, we're not going to last. And in order to make a change, you have to be able to stand up and be counted. But this keyboard warrior stuff, this sitting back negative headlines, yeah, sure, it sells papers, it sells, clickbait, whatever, great. but it doesn't. Fundamentally, it divides. And what we're seeing across the world now, unfortunately, is we're a world that's becoming more and more divided as the days go on. And it's just, if you were to look 20, 30 years down the line, that's going to be detrimental and have a devastating impact on every country, not just Ireland, every single country.
What role do you think farming plays culturally in the identity of Ireland? So putting the economics aside, of course, it's...
Great question, man. Let's go. This is amazing because it's huge. Like I say, guys, in Ireland, we had people in my school, young guys that would actually go to the ploughing, and I suppose that would actually... My thought on that now, looking back, I didn't know at the time, people would buy fireworks and do all this fun stuff, but my thought is that they would actually hope to kind of groom people, I suppose, into becoming farmers, right? They would actually try and hey, this is a good profession, which is, good, right? You want people to become farmers and stuff like that, so that's good, right? Good grooming. is that a thing? That's probably not a thing, but yeah, you're trying to tell people, hey guys, like, it's good to become a farmer. That's great, you know what I mean? Not just go to college and do some BS IT thing. You don't need to do that, guys. Leave that to me, right?
A livelihood for many people. They needed to pay their bills, and it's critical from that perspective. We all know that. But what do you think it plays in the actual character of this country?
I'm from Mayo, Clare Morris, right? To hell or to Connacht, I'm still there. I love it. And quite frankly, at times it can be like heaven, and at other times it can be like hell, because I have seen more young people drive out, leave our country. Farming is the backbone of our economy, and unfortunately an awful lot of people inside the M50 think that that's not the case.
Inside the M50, he's talking about Dublin, guys. This is a pot shot at Dublin.
I was talking to a girl before, I said, where does the milk come from? And she said, the doorstep. I was like, so there's a serious disconnect.
That's actually gas. The doorstep, come on, bro.
We need to do is bridge the gap. Ensure that people...
That's actually double stupid, because nobody delivers milk anymore. Like, there's no milkmen anymore. What the hell?
That don't understand our food production. Everybody understands food consumption. I was in the European Parliament last week, and I was discussing... I just had a bit of a brainwave, and something perhaps was regurgitated, but it was like, once in your day you might need a police... Once in your life you might need a policeman. Once in your life you might need a lawyer. Once in your life you might need a doctor. But 3 times a day, every day, when you sit down to eat, you need a farmer. And that is it. And once we can understand that, how reliant we are on farmers, and to be honest, farmers do it for the love of it. There's not a lot of money out of it. The majority, I know headlines are saying we're all millionaires. Maybe, I'm not. I'm doing it for very little, but at the very, I'm feeding people.
And like, living in the countryside my whole life, I thought all farmers pretty much are millionaires. That's just like land type of job. Like, if you have a lot of land, then you're like a millionaire. But yeah, that's probably, he's saying that's not true. Yeah, maybe a few are, but not many. Maybe if you rise to the top of the field or something.
People, and sometimes the people that are driving this rhetoric don't understand when they sit down to eat a burger that there you go, it's coming from Connacht, it's coming from my farm. All the cattle are looked after like they're my children. Every single one of them. When one of them is sick, I feel sick. You know what I mean? It's the empathy. Farmers are empathetic. That perfect, beautiful speech they had that God made a farmer. Someone that can wake up in the morning and have the colt and pull it out of the mare and watch it die and wipe the tears from his eyes and say maybe next year. That's what it's all about. Farmers are very, very adaptive, and we can adapt, but we need to work together. And it's not just farmers, it's everyone that consumes milk, beef, dairy, even vegans and that, they're all consuming farmed products. So as soon as they can realise that, I think the world will be in a better place.
Yeah, great speech, guys. Great interview, man. Obviously, Ben Scallion does an amazing job. Great speaker, guys. So that was Macron Firms, Robert Lally. So shout out to Robert Lally. Yeah, that's class, guys. It's so true. Like you really need a lot of food every single day. Like, you don't need a doctor every day, or a guard every day, or what else do you say, a lawyer every day, but you do need food every day, guys. You need to sustain yourself and live, and it's the most important thing to being healthy, guys. If you don't have your health, then it doesn't matter being a millionaire, because you flipping don't have your health. So absolutely incredible, guys. Let me know what you all think. Much love to my beautiful people of Ireland. Tell me where you guys are from watching this, because I'm getting a lot of views on these videos now, just reacting to them. You know, sometimes I'm getting a ton of views, so I appreciate the love and support. Stay free, and I'll see you guys all in the next one, man. Peace.